So here probability. So generally, all of you know, and all of you have studied the probability, the theory of probability, and everyone will have a minimum knowledge about this probability in their +2 level, right? So before going to the probability, what actually the probability from where it started? So it is something called random experiment. Random experiment, and then events. These two terms you might have come across: random experiment and events. Basically, what is this random experiment and what is this event? Random experiment generally it defined to be an experiment in which all the possible outcomes are known before doing the experiment. So once we do some experiment, so there will be some outcome, right? Whatever the result is there. So all the possible results I know before, without doing the experiment also I know. It is not that suppose at the end of after completing the experiment, I am getting something which I don't know earlier. Okay. And after completing the experiment, only one of the outcome is possible. Only one of the outcome is possible. Okay, means when you complete one experiment, at the end of the experiment, definitely you will get one of the outcome. Only one of the outcome. But if you repeat the experiment next time, it is not necessary that whatever we have got, whatever we obtained in the previous time, it is not necessary that same thing will come again. Okay. Once you complete the experiment, we will get only one of the outcome. Okay. But what are the possible outcomes? The possible outcome can be anything. But the list of possible outcomes are also very different. And the random experiment, which also means that it can be repeated number of times. Okay, under same circumstances. Under same situations are simply. Now, this is what about random experiment. Now, for example, the very basic example generally in the theory of probability we start with is tossing a coin. Tossing a coin. Okay, it is a random experiment. Can be termed as it is a random experiment, right? If you look at the characteristics of this random experiment, why it is called a random experiment? You look at this one. What are the set of all possible outcomes? Either heads or tails. either heads or tails, right? Which one will be coming? That we do not know. We do not know what is the outcome, exact outcome of that experiment. But what we know, the possible outcomes we know. Okay? Or rolling a die, or throwing a die, whatever you call it. Throwing a die in the sense, generally it is meant for six-faced. Six-faced die. Okay? Is it necessary that a die should have always six faces? But most of the examples that we come across, we do, is a die with six faces. You can see a die with four-faced die also, you can see, right? Okay, but in generally, until unless specified in the theory of probability, generally a die means it is a six-faced die, and numbering starts from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All the six faces are given with the numbers, right? Starting from 1 and ends at 6. Now, when you are doing this experiment, if this is an experiment, you can call this as a random experiment. What are the set of all possible outcomes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the set of all possible outcomes. These are the set of all possible outcomes. Even we know what are the all possible outcomes. Even when we know the set of all possible outcomes, we do while doing a certain experiment, certain random experiment, we do not know what actually will come. Okay, it can be random. Randomly, it can be from any of the possible outcomes. Okay, now that is about the random experiment, and the next thing about the event. What we mean by an event? An event is basically or let me give, before going to the event, let me give the elementary event. Elementary event will be the proper. Elementary event. So what we meant by elementary event? Elementary event means when we perform a random experiment, as we already know what are the set of all possible outcomes, then the possibility of occurring each outcome is called an elementary event. Okay, in one line, what we can say, each outcome of a random experiment is called an elementary event. Okay. For example, when tossing a coin, what are the elementary events? Getting head or getting tail. When we are doing the elementary random experiment of rolling a die, throwing a die, what are the elementary events? Getting 1 is an elementary event. Getting 2 is an elementary event. Getting 3, getting 4, getting 5, getting 6. Each possible outcome is called an elementary event. For example, let me give the random experiment. The random experiment is now tossing two coins. Tossing two coins. Now, what are the possible outcomes? Set of all possible outcomes we know. Both the coins. First coin, one coin head and the second coin tail. Right? These are the possible outcomes. Now, what are the elementary events? Getting two heads on both the coins is one of the elementary event. Getting both the tails is an elementary event. Getting head on the first coin and the tail on the second coin. Getting tail on the first coin and head on the second coin. So the happening of any possible outcome is called an elementary event. For example, getting at least one head, it is not an elementary event. Getting at least one head is not the elementary. It is not an elementary event. Why? Because it is a combination of elementary events. Okay. For example, the rank. Okay. Okay. It is not an elementary. Okay. But getting both the heads is an elementary event. Getting both the tails, it is an elementary event. So similarly, you can for the tossing two dice also you can say it. Okay. For example, another example. Rolling two dice. Okay. Now you tell me. Now you tell me. You know what are the possible outcomes? The possible outcomes are being, we can mention in a set form, I and j such that I comma j belongs to natural numbers. 1 is less than or equal to I is less than or equal to 6. 1 is less than or equal to j is less than or equal to 6. These are all the possible outcomes. These are all the possible outcomes. Right? So getting 4 on both the die is an elementary event. Whereas obtaining where the sum of the two numbers on the upper side. The sum of the two faces, I mean numbers, is 4. Is not an elementary event. Why? Because it is not an elementary event, but what we have to observe, whatever the event it is there, it is all okay. Event we have not come across, right? Okay. So these are about, it is not an elementary event. Okay. Now these kind of questions, how to answer? Okay. So they are called events. They are called events. Events means it is a combination of one or more than one elementary events. One or more than one elementary events. Like previously we have seen, right? The sum of the two faces is 4. It is an event. Getting at least one head, it is an event. Okay. And another example, let me introduce the one more thing. Suppose if we have a deck of cards, well shuffled a deck of cards. Okay. Getting a red color card. It is not a simple event. It is it is not an elementary event. Whereas it is an event. It is an event. Okay. Now, the another definition, as I said, it is simply a recall. It is not that you do not know all these things. You have come across already. Since it's been a long gap from this concept to you, so I thought of recalling is a very best thing. Recalling is a good thing. Okay. Sample space. So generally, what is meant by a sample space? A sample space means the set of all possible outcomes of a random experiment is called the sample space of the experiment. The set of all possible outcomes. The set of all possible outcomes. In another means, what is the possible outcomes? What we are calling it as elementary events. So the set of all elementary events is called the sample space of the random experiment. Okay. Now, as we have discussed in these events, there are certain kinds of events. For example, sure event. Sure event, which means this event will definitely happen. This event will definitely happen in all the random, whatever the number of times you do the random experiment. Okay. For example, it is certain. Definitely will happen. For example, suppose if the random experiment is rolling a dice, then the event, let me represent the event A with getting a number greater than or equal to 1. Getting a number greater than or equal to 1. This is what? whatever the number of times you do, always in whatever the number, even if you do infinitely many times also, repeat the experiment, repeat the random experiment again and again and again. Okay. So in all the cases, this event will definitely happen without any doubt. Am I right? This event will definitely, it will happen. Okay. And the next one, impossible event. Impossible event. What we mean by impossible event? Definitely will not happen. Definitely not happen. It will not happen at all. For example, take the same example. Take the same example. Same example in the sense, same random experiment. Okay. You call B an event getting a number greater than 6. Getting a number greater than 6. It is an impossible event. Getting a number greater than 6, it is an impossible event. Am I right? Even if you do the infinitely many times also, this event will not happen even at least once. Okay. For example, we can give a number of example. Now you take 2 dice. The event is here. Event is sum of the faces is bigger than 12. Is it possible? Why it is bigger than or equal to 12? We can say sum of the faces is equal to 100. Is it possible to happen? No, right? It will not happen. So this also will not happen. And hence, these two events are called impossible events. Okay. Or we can also see some irrelevant event also, like rolling a die and getting a head. Is it relevant? No, right? Okay, anyway. So that is an impossible event. And the next one, equally likely events. Equally likely events. Equally likely events. When we will say when we will say this, when we will use this term. If all the elementary events of a random experiment, let me use R dot E for the short, random experiment, have same chance of occurring. Same chance of occurring. Then we will say that all the elementary events are equally likely happening events. Okay. It is not only about the elementary events, it can also be given for events also. For example, For example, let me finish here. Elementary events. For example, rolling a die. The chance of getting 1 is same as the chance of getting 2. Same as chance of getting 3. So chance of getting 4 or 5 or 6. Okay. So when we are tossing 2 coins, the chance of getting 2 heads is same as the chance of getting 2 tails is same as the chance of getting a head and tail. Okay. But this one you already know it, so I'm not giving what are the equally likely events, but I'm giving here one example which is different. For example, you take a die, but not with the numbers. Not with the numbers. What you do, you consider a die 6-faced die. 6-faced die. So on 2 faces, you write T, and remaining 4 faces, you write H. T and H does not stand for tail and H, any 2 different letters. Okay. So T is here, so exactly opposite face also T. H is here on the upper side, upper face, so the below face also H. This side we have H, so opposite side also we have H. Now you tell me. Now you, for example, when you are tossing a coin, when the random experiment is tossing a coin, now getting the H or getting tail, both are equally possible. Both are equally possible, right? But now rolling a die, it is not the usual one that we have practiced. Here, a different one. Okay, rolling a die. Now you tell me here, getting H and getting T. Generally, I'm using getting, but generally in the probability we use occurring, okay, or happening, okay, whatever it is. H or T. Now you tell me whether these two are in this also. What are the possible outcomes? Possible outcomes are either H or T. We know it well in advance. At least one of them will happen definitely. Right, fine. But getting H and getting T, are they equally possible? No. No. Tossing a coin, getting H and getting T, yes. They are equally positive. They are equally likely happening events. They are equally likely events. Okay. Okay. I hope it is understood what we meant by equally likely events. And the next one is mutual. This also, this the next 2 definitions you might have come across definitely. There is no doubt about it. Mutually exclusive events. Mutually exclusive events. So what we meant by mutually exclusive events? Okay. What is mutually exclusive? Mutually exclusive means there is, suppose, let us do a random experiment. Consider the random experiment. Consider a random experiment and 2 events named with E1 and E2. E1 and E2. Now, E1 and E2 are said to be mutually exclusive. 2 events, E1 and E2 of a same random experiment, are said to be mutually exclusive if E1 intersection E2 is 5. That is, both the events have no common elementary event. Both the events have no common elementary event. For example, rolling random experiment is rolling 2 dice. Okay, rolling 2 dice. Okay, it is not now. Okay, rolling 2 dice, that is fine. Now the event A1 is the sum of the faces is less than 5. The sum of the faces is less than 5. And E2 is the sum of the faces is bigger than 10. Now you tell me what are the possible events for E1. So E1 basically stands for 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4 is not possible. Equality we are not considering, right? So 2, 3, 2, 3 and 2, 4 is not. Oh, 2, 3 is also not there, right? That's all. Okay. And E2 means bigger than or equal to 10. So 6, 6, 6, 5, 6, 4 is not possible, and 5 and 5 is also not possible. Not so. Now, if you look at these two events, this is E1 and this is E2. E1 and E2, they have no common elementary event. There is no common elementary event for the E1 and E2. E1 is a combination of elementary events. Getting 1, 1 is an elementary event. Getting 1, 2 is an elementary event. Getting 1, 3 is an elementary event. So it is a combination. Okay, union of elementary events. But as you can see it here, E1 intersection E2 is empty. So that is, these two events are called mutually exclusive events. Yes. Now let us go to the another experiment. Okay. For example, let us go back to the rolling a single die, rolling a die only one. E1 is happening of a prime number or getting occurring on. Okay, let me use the getting a prime number. So what are the possible options? 1, okay, 1 we can, 1 is not a prime number, not a composite number, we can remove this. So 2, 3, 5 are the possibilities. Now E2 getting an odd number. So what are the possibilities? 1, 3, 5. These two events are not exclusive. They are not exclusive. Why? Because they are E1 and E2, since E1 intersection E2 is not equal to 5. Both the events have common elementary events are there. Common elementary events are there. Okay. Suppose if we consider E3, another event, getting an even number. So 2, 4, 6 is the possibility. Again, E2 and E3 are not exclusive events. Why? Because there is a common elementary event is there for E1 and E3. Okay, but E2 and E3 are, yes, of course, they are elementary, mutually exclusive events. Okay. Now, the next one is obviously, any idea? Any idea? Exclusive we have done. So now it is about the mutually exhaustive events. So what is mutually exhaustive? Okay, here mutually exclusive events we said only for the case of two events. But suppose if there are n number of events, E1, E2, E3, and so on, En, we will say all these events are mutually exclusive, which means that E1 intersection E2 is empty, E1 intersection E3 is empty, so no two events have a common, no two events have a common elementary event. These two intersection empty, this two, and all, any pair of events will become mutually exclusive events. Okay. Now, similarly, mutually exhaustive events also, let me tell you. Suppose consider two events, E1 and E2 are two events, and E1 and E2 are said to be mutually exhaustive events if E1 union E2 is equal to the sample space. That is, sample space means all elementary events. For example, in the previous, if you look at the previous here, okay, E2 and E3, they are exhaustive also. Why? Because union is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All the sample events are there. E1 and E2, they are not exhaustive events. 4 is missing, 6 is missing. 4 is missing and 6 is also missing. Okay. Or for example, you consider this one. Experiment is rolling a die. Even is getting a number less than 5, and E2 is getting a number bigger than 3. Okay. Now, if you look at these two, what are the possible outcomes? For E2, it is greater than 3 means 4, 5, 6, and for E1, it is 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Now, as you can see it here, E1 union E2 is equal to the entire sample space. Entire sample space, right? So these two events are exhaustive events. Even though the 4 is coming here and 4 is coming here, okay, but still, what we are expecting, E1 union E2 should be the entire sample space. All the elementary events should be in at least one of the events. either in E1 or in E2. If they are in both, well and good, fine. Okay. So it is about the mutually exhaustive events. Now there is something called, obviously, what is mutual? This is mutually exhaustive events. The same definition can also be given for E1, E2, and so on, En. A finite number of events. These events are said to be mutually exhaustive if the union of all of them is entire sample space. Union of all of them, that is union of I runs from 1 to n, Ei is equal to the entire sample space. Okay. Now coming here, now it is a combination of both. What is that one? What is the combination here? Mutually exclusive and exhaustive. What is this one? Mutually exclusive and exhaustive means E1 intersection E2 is empty and E1 union E2 is equal to the entire sample space. Have no common elementary events, but every common elementary event, every elementary event is there in at least either in E1 or in E2. Okay. For example, previously we have come across this one. You look at this one. This is already exclusive, and of course, it is exhaustive also. And hence, E2 and E3, they are mutually exclusive and exhaustive events, both. Okay. So this is all about the basics. It is all about the basics. And tomorrow we are going to start the actual some of the very small questions on the probability, which is very essential, which is also very essential for to understand the concept come later. Okay. And here there is something called combination of events. Combination of events is it is two like events. Events is a combination of elementary events. Combination of events means, for example, for rolling a die, an experiment. Suppose if I say E is getting a number, getting a number that satisfy 3 is less than or getting a number more than 3 but less than 6. So more than 3, it is a number, it is an event, and less than 6, it is another event. So basically, it is a combination of both the events. Okay. More than 3 but less than 6. So basically here there is some combination is and E1 and E2. E1 and E2. E1 union E2 or E1 intersection E2 or E1 but not E2 in the set representation. Okay. E1 but not E2, E2 but not E1. Okay. Only one of the E1 and E2, so that is E1 E1 but not E2. So union, the symmetric difference. Okay. So all these are generally called the combination of events. So tomorrow we are going to see the definition of probability and few problems on the conditional probability. That is very important to understand one of the important theorem called Bayes theorem, which you have already come across. I am very much sure about it. Okay, is there anyone who have not come across the Bayes theorem? And rules of the probability also we are going to see tomorrow. The definition and few examples, mainly on the conditional probability. So that's all for today. I'm closing the section now. If you have any doubts, you are welcome. Thank you all.